world is filled with virtue and vice, in which if our brain choose for wise deeds which cannot bring forth fruit of spirit, leads to the path of sin. It is a way of Satan.
In my opinion, sin is a concept created by humans to remind one about what's good and what's bad. All religions have the concept of sin. The idea of sin differs from one country to another, one culture to another. Each individual has their own concept of sin. What's considered sin to one person or a particular community might seem completely normal to someone else.
Is a deliberate violation of reverencing the Creator and being contemptuous towards His creation. Human mind is corrupted by a tendency to commit sin. This is an inherited nature from Adam and Eve. When we succumb to temptation in our mind, it eventually leads to action resulting in sin. The law judges external actions while our conscience is fully aware of our deliberate immorality. John Piper's vivid description of sin is valuable to note here. It is the glory of God not honored, the holiness of God not reverenced, the presence of God not praised, the person of God not loved. As desire and pride are the foundation of all sins, it is vital that one has to be cautious. Anyone who knows the good he ought to do and doesn't do it sins, says the Bible.
The term sin is entirely related to religious beliefs. Breaking a religious law is considered a sin. We can find this word more commonly referred by religious people. Its secular equivalent is the term crime. Disobeying the law of the land is known as crime. There are different types of sins or crimes. A sin of moderate intensity is known as a trespass, and there are mortal sins too. Likewise, crimes can be grouped accordingly to their severity and intensity. And both these terms are related to culture and civilization.
Sin is something that parts us away from the divine. No man is free from sin. Every human strives hard to cleanse themselves of their own sins. Sinners are deprived heavenly bliss, but sadly, everyone is addicted to certain evils that push themselves to commit sin. Moving deeply into the divine and involving in activities related to religion would cleanse our hearts from sinful thoughts. Sin is a central concept in many religious texts, such as the Bible, and it has a significant role in various religious traditions, especially in Christianity. In the Bible, sin is often portrayed as a violation of God's rules. The book of Genesis explains sin by recounting the story of Adam and Eve, who disobeyed God by eating the forbidden fruit, leading to their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Throughout the Old Testament, sin is present in different ways, such as idolatry, murder, theft, and dishonesty. The Bible illustrates the effects of sin in multiple ways. Sin leads to guilt and shame. The Apostle Paul in the New Testament refers to sin as the wages of sin, which is death, highlighting the ultimate consequence of sin.
Hello friends, I am Joel. Now I am going to connect all these opinions with the play Every Man, a morality play. The writer of this play is unknown. This play is based on the biblical story. From the first opinion, God created the world with good and evil. God wants every man to choose the good path, but every man follows the word and chooses the evil path and does sin against God. This separates every man from the God, and it is the way of Satan. From the second opinion, the idea of sin differs from country to country, culture to culture, and each individual has their own concept of sin. God does not separate sin from country to country, culture to culture, and for individual. Everyone in the world is equal before the God. God sets a path for every man to follow. Those who not follow the path of God and violates will be considered as sinners and sin. From the third opinion, human mind is corrupted to commit sin. Every man is attracted towards the worldly pleasure to commit sin, because every man forget about God, so his mind is diverted to commit sin. From the fourth opinion, breaking a religious law is considered as sin. God created the world and every man to praise and follow him. But every man follows the word and forget about God. By this, every man breaks the religious law and commits sin against God. From the fifth opinion, every human strives hard to cleanse themselves of their own sin. Every man also committed sin and he wanted to cleanse him from his sin. So every man asked help to good deeds. Good deeds guided every man. Good deeds, wisdom, confession, beauty, strength, discretion, five wits and angel helped every man to cleanse him from his sin. From the sixth opinion, the wages of sin is death. Every man commits sin and God orders death to bring every man's soul, because every man wants to judge before God. Jesus paid the wages of sin as death and sacrificed himself to save every man. At last, due to this sacrifice, every man is saved. Thank you.